It's said, sometimes looking back becomes essentially important for the view in front to be clearer. With Rishi Sunak having association with the Silicon Valley of India through his marital alliance with Akshata Murthy, daughter of Sunak and Narayan Murthy, it makes him the second British Prime Minister to have association with Bangalore, the first being Sir Winston Churchill.
Also, recent Supreme Court's verdict reconnects certain historical dots, recollecting chain of events that takes us back to nearly 152 years ago. The Supreme Court, while announcing judgment, began with a small anecdote about 152 years old Bangalore Club. Established in 1868 as the Bangalore United Services Club for the Officers of British Empire, many of its members attained high-ranking positions, one of them being Sir Winston Churchill during his stint in India from 1896.
Winston Churchill came to Bangalore as a young officer. The 3 years he was in Bangalore, he enjoyed the membership of the club. He stayed more time outside than in station. He had come to Bangalore with his cavalry regiment, the 4th of Hussars, from 1896 to 1899. He spent over 22 months in the country, making this Churchill's longest foreign sojourn. While he was with the Queen's 4th Hussars, he fought 3 battles, and while he was in station, he engrossed himself with playing polo and reading books.
Apart from battles, books, and polo, Churchill's interest had got ignited by the captivating beauty of the young English girl, daughter of the resident of Hyderabad at that time, Pamela Plodden.
Churchill spent a lot of his time romancing and courting the young lady. However, she declined to his marriage proposal and went on to become Lady Lytton, leaving behind a heartbroken Churchill.
3 years after his stay in Bangalore, Churchill left for the war in Northwest, now known as Pakistan. As an indelible mark of his Indian days, Winston Churchill left an entry dating back to June 1899. The club ledger book lists Lieutenant W.L.S. Churchill is one of the 17 defaulters. Churchill has a debt of 13 rupees at Bangalore Club. This was later written off on the 1st of June 1899 as an irrecoverable amount. This was quite a sizable amount back then. In his book, My Early Life, he wrote describing the city at that time. The climate of Bangalore at more than 3,000 feet above the sea level is excellent. The sun, even at midday, is temperate and the mornings are fresh and cool. Later, the Anglo-Indians called it home weather.
But during the British Raj, it was all white men's club. The so-called brown natives were not permitted, completely debarred from the premises. Bangalore itself stood divided between 2 halves. The cantonment area, which were regal, plush, sprawling, restricted to the Gora Sahibs, while the other left out for the brown natives. In 1947, on the cusp of independence, the British statesman Winston Churchill denounced Indians and proclaimed, "If independence is granted to India, power will go into the hands of rascals, rogues, freebooters," as he advocated vehemently against granting freedom to India. One man on the hit list with barbed words was Mahatma Gandhi, who was described in the words of British statesmen as a seditious Middle Temple lawyer now posing as a naked fakir. The Bengal famine, one of the worst humanitarian disasters of the 20th century, directly resulted from Churchill's policies. Unreasonably backbreaking taxes, His refusal to provide aid and diversion of food shipment from India contributed to millions perishing. According to him, any potential relief efforts sent to India would accomplish little to nothing, as these Indians breed like rabbits.
Individuals both in England and India have gone through transformational changes, and India has come a long way. Bangalore Club continues to be one of India's most elite clubs as it continues to retain the 19th century grandeur and splendor, keeping alive the heritage of the past. But today it has over 7,000 members who are Indian. When Rishi Sunak visited the iconic 89-year-old Vidyarthi Bhavan, severing the masala dosa with his wife and in-laws, casually clad in a t-shirt and boxer shorts, the stark difference in time felt vivid.
While Churchill, who had breakfasted at the prestigious Victoria Hotel, considered it beneath his dignity to mingle with the brown natives. Sir Winston Churchill, considered by many as the greatest Briton and the most famous British Prime Minister, who had refused to accept defeat and scale them through the World War, received Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953 for his mastery of historical and biographical description, as well as for brilliant oratory in defending exalted human values. But according to his private secretary Anthony Montag Brown, Churchill was disappointed that he had not been awarded the Nobel Prize.
So now for the big question that hangs loosely by the thread. Who was Winston Churchill? Was he a hero or a villain? But most importantly, Indians have been burned by the fire of humiliation, crushed by subjugation, and tattered by financial blows. We have been robbed of our resources and finances. We won our freedom through immense sacrifice. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but the opportunity to do what is right.